welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to start off by using the MAC paint pot to prime our eyelids, and we're not going to set this down at all. And we're going to be reviewing the Huda Beauty Amethyst Obsession palette. This is an all purple palette, very pretty. I want to go ahead and do my shout out today, which is for the Daily Dose of Sarah O. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I'm going in with this top purple shade in the corner with this Morphe brush, and I'll have everything in the details below in the description box below. And I'm going to go ahead and take this and go from the outer corner to the inner corner, going into that crease and building up the color as much as I can. So you can go in several times to build up this one color till we get it to where we need to go. Remember, if you want to have a shout out, you must subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and like this video. That way I can pick somebody at random to have a shout out in my next video. So far, I really love the way that these shadows are performing. They're very, very pigmented. They do not come off to being powdery at all. There's no kickback in the pan. But I've noticed when I've changed to not setting my concealers that the pigment in every palette has been more pigmented. The colors pop more. So if your eyeshadows are not performing well, try using a concealer without setting it down. Now I'm going in with the Jaclyn Hill 34 brush, and I'm taking this deeper, the lighter purple at the bottom corner, and I'm going to go very softly above the color that we had laid down in our crease. But we are mixing these two colors very softly together. I'm not using much pressure at all, going back and forth to really start to build up this color and bringing it higher and higher every time. Going back and tapping into that color so we get that color to really pop on its own, as well as having that other color mix in with it. So as you can see, we're just going to keep going back and softly going back and forth to really build up the color. Now going in with this Morphe M4431 brush. This is a very small tapered brush. I'm going in with that dark purple, and I'm going to be building up our crease. Gonna deepen it up with this color, making it really dark and keeping it right there from the outer corner to the inner corner and in that crease. If you get it below, of course, we'll fix that with some concealer. But we are doing a complete cut crease today, so this will be all bare on our eyelids. It will just be the concealer and then set down with some powder. Now I'm going back in with that top color, and I'm blending these two colors together with the Morphe brush, and this is more fluffier. That way we can blend and not have too harsh of a color. That way they blend seamlessly. We don't want it to be all separate colors. I went ahead and got the other eye done as well, but now I'm dragging that deep purple outwards so that when we cut the crease, which we're using a flat brush, and I use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer, which I forgot to show you guys. And I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting. I first start on the eyelid and then start from the inner corner or even the outer corner, whichever is easiest for you, to start really cutting that crease to give us the look that we are going for. Take your time on this. It does not have to be rushed. This is a little bit more difficult to do when you're cutting your whole crease to make them even on both sides, which on my look, one side does look a little bit higher than the other, but that's okay. It still all comes together. So just make sure you cut the crease, taking your time, very simple, and going back in each time that you need to. Now going back in with that darker shade that we had used for our crease, and now we're taking a small detailed brush, the E36, and I'm going very softly to define that crease because we don't want to lose it within when we did the cut crease. We really want that definition to show with that dark purple that we have, and we will blend this out so that it's not as harsh either, but it will still show up and pick up as that dark purple is there. Now I'm going in with the Morphe fluffier brush with that top color that we used at the very beginning, and this is what's going to blend that dark purple with this color to make it blend seamlessly and to bring the look all together so it's not too harsh. Any fallout or trying to straighten up that line, use a makeup wipe. It will help to cause that sharp edge look. And you just keep going real slow and blending those colors together and redefining each color as you need.
You gotta listen up, listen up. There's not a thing that I can't get from you. Boy, I don't need that much, need that much. How can I tell you what I wanna do? I never needed you to give me things. I never needed gifts or diamond rings. All I ever need, all I ever need is here with you. There's a place where we can go, where it's always shining like the snow. Listen to your heartbeat, don't you know that I just wanna be with you? Baby, there is a place where we can go, where it's always shining like the snow. Listen to your heartbeat, don't you know that I just wanna be with you? Oh, I can't get enough, get enough. Don't ever let me be away from you. I'm gonna hold you tight, 'cause you're the only thing that I can't lose. I never needed you to give me things. I never needed gifts or diamond rings. All I ever need, all I ever need is here with you. There's a place where we can go, where it's always shining like the snow. Listen to your heartbeat, don't you know that I just wanna be with you? Baby, there is a place where we can go, where it's always shining like the snow. Listen to your heartbeat, don't you know that I just wanna be with you? You can buy your way into my heart, but you don't see that I just want you. You get me things, but I don't care. Babe, there is a place where we can go, where it's always shining like the snow. Listen to your heartbeat, don't you know that I just wanna be with you. Babe, there is a place where we can go, where it's always shining like the snow. Listen to your heartbeat, don't you know that I just wanna be with you. You better turn up. You better be there when I shake.
I'm now going to be going in with the NYX Glitter Glue. I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, taking a very, very small, thin, detailed brush. And I'm going to tap a little bit of this, and we are going to go right where that crease is and that dark purple eyeshadow. So keep it tucked in really tight along that line. And we're going to lay down this glitter primer, because we're going to take one of the glitter shadows and we're going to put that wherever we put that glitter, the glitter primer. So it's going to be a straight line, and you're going to dip into this purple here with the same brush, and I'm just tapping it on. At first I started to drag it, but I realized that using and just tapping and pressing it on works a lot better. If you do have some that falls out on your eyelid, or any that does end up getting where that concealer is, just take some concealer and go back in to fix up any mistakes that you made. But we're just following that line very carefully using this glitter. It's a deeper, darker purple glitter eyeshadow within the palette, and just follow that line, going very slowly so that we can create this glitter effect. I'm now going in with the brand new Wet n Wild Photofocus translucent powder, and I'm trying this out for the first time today using the same concealer brush that we used, and I'm going to tap this onto wherever we have that concealer to set it down so it does not crease or move. So this doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Just go lightly and press it on lightly wherever we laid that concealer so that it doesn't crease. I really like this powder. It did not have any flashbacks at all, and it's very fine and thin, so it is very soft on the skin. It's very, very pretty. It leaves a very, very pretty skin-like feel to it. It doesn't, some powders are just too thick, so it doesn't work on the skin. This does. The Infallible Glow Lock Primer from Loreal. I've been using this for my dry skin. It comes out pink and thick, and I just rub it all into the face as our primer so that we can start our foundation. I really like this stuff. It does give a glow. It helps the foundation sit better on my skin and look really pretty, so that it's more skin-like instead of just plain foundation on top of some matte primer. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm taking the Loreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation in 420. I'm going to go ahead and use my oval brush to go ahead and just tap it out. And then I'll be going in with the Beauty Blender to really press it into the skin, so that we have a skin-like foundation instead of it being cakey. It's really blended.
In my bed 5 to 12, wish I could sleep. Dream about all the ways you could reach me, but now you keep missing out on me, that's for sure.
For today, we're going to use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. And I'm going to go ahead and put this under the eyes, the forehead, the nose, and the chin, wherever we want to highlight or conceal. And this is in Light Pale, if you guys needed to know the color. I'm going to go ahead and tap all this out. This is pretty full coverage, so I don't have to mix another type of concealer with this. This does just fine on its own. So just finish pressing this all in.
When I think about the way we used to be, when I think about the things it took from me, I know that I am so much.
I'm going to go ahead and use the Wet n Wild translucent powder, and I'm going to use this to set all the concealer and go ahead and set the whole face. So I'm going to go ahead and use my damp beauty blender. I think this works better than a brush, but sometimes I feel like using a brush, so it just depends upon you. And I'm going to go ahead and set my under eyes, my chin, my forehead, and taking any of the excess powder that is left on the beauty blender, and I'm going to tap that and press that into my whole face so that all the foundation is set. So when we go and put another powder like our blush or a bronzer, that it does not stick. This is the Morphe palette, and this is the 8L, the Lo-Fi Highlight and Contour. And I'm using this flattered angled brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and use the two bottom bronzer colors, and I am tapping these two colors on my face. The tapping motions have been working a lot better for me, rather than sitting there using circular motions. This really just sets on the skin really pretty, and then once it's also pressed in with a beauty blender, which I will do after I have set it down with some setting spray, it just melts into the skin and looks really pretty and flawless. Going in with the Benefit Hoola bronzer, I love this bronzer so much. It is so pretty on the skin, the way it just melts into the skin and sets, and the color overall is gorgeous. So I take this Real Technique brush that is more tapered and angled towards the tip, and it really just sets into those cheekbones and really carves them out. So I love using this brush with any kind of contour. So I'm going to go ahead and set the whole face with the Morphe setting spray. I'm going to go ahead and let it dry to the point where it's not completely dry, but it's not wet. It still is a little damp. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to carve out underneath our contour so that we can have that really sharp contour look for today's look, which I do almost in every look. But I just like the way that if you made a mistake, this really helps take away that mistake so that there's not bronzer all over your face. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Milani Baked Blush in 01. And I am taking this and I'm just going to go ahead and put this on the top of the cheekbones. I didn't want nothing too bright for our cheeks or our blush today, because the eyes are really what I want to pop. Taking this rose gold highlight color out of the Morphe Contour and Highlight palette, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight the top of the cheeks, and as well as the cupid's bow and the nose. Now we're ready to go ahead and dust everything off. That way we can go ahead and finish setting the face. That way the face is almost complete. I went ahead and I did my liner, which I just lined the very top of the eyes. I didn't do no wing today, and put on some eyelashes and some mascara from the Lash Paradise from Loreal. Now I'm taking this mascara, and this is from Loreal. It's a Voluminous, but it's in burgundy, and I'm putting this on the lower lash line, the lower lashes, to give a pop of color. I'm going to go ahead and use the same highlight to highlight the brown bone and the inner corner. I did my brows off of camera as well, so what I used for those will be listed down below as well as the lashes will be listed. Everything will be listed in the detail below in the description, so anything that you need. And now we're going to go ahead in the same order that we did with our eyes, and we're going to do the lash line. Taking that light purple that we used at the beginning of the video, I'm going to go ahead and put that under the lash line first, and then we're going to take that dark color on a very thin liner brush, and we're going to put that under the lash line from the outer corner, dragging it to the inner, but not too far to the inner corner. And then we're going to take that lighter pink shade, the bottom corner, and we're going to buff out the two colors together. So we're going to smoke those out to be very pretty. Then to give it that finishing touch, we are going to take the glitter shade that's on the bottom. It's the lightest glitter shade, and we're going to put that on the inner corner. For the waterline, we use the Essence Extreme Lasting Eyeliner pencil in Silky. It's a nude color. I didn't want nothing too dark. And then we will be moving on to our lipstick to finish up this look. I'm using the Morphe lipstick, and this in the shade Wifey, and this is a very pretty nude color which will fit these bright purple eyes that we have. I didn't want nothing too dark or too intense for this look. We want to just keep the lips simple. The eyes is what we want to pop. So I love how this look came together. I thought it came out to be really pretty. Enjoyed the look and how it came out. It's really a springtime look, summertime look. These bright pops of color that we have. The palette I felt was absolutely amazing. So I would recommend the Huda palettes. So thank you so much for subscribing, and hit that bell button so you know when I post my next video. Thanks, bye.